Hip-hop and R&B, it's 103.5 The Beat, Papa Keith live, and it's a Memorial Friday. I got some special guests in the building. One, extremely beautiful. The other one, yeah. I'm kidding. Ladies first, please introduce yourself.
What's up? I love that. What's up, guys listening out there? This is Ms. Sarah Fontenot. I am the host of the It's Giving podcast, and it is an honor to be here with you today. This Miami Heat is giving.
Okay. I love the name of your podcast as well.
Thank you.
And my gentleman, please introduce yourself.
My name is Anthony Goodwin, work out the landlord. I'm from Philadelphia. I'm just down here for my event, trying to promote that.
That's what's up. What event you have? Let's dive right into it.
So it's the American Entrepreneur event. This is my 5th year.
Nice.
My first year, I took 30 kids to down Miami from Philadelphia, brought them their hotels, got them a business plan, and just trying to shift their mindset so they can understand they don't have to be a basketball player or a drug dealer or any one of those.
Yeah.
So I'm into real estate, so I'm trying to show them that they don't have to do that. And they can be successful.
That's amazing. Philly has a weird relationship with Miami. I mean, everybody likes to come to Miami, but Philly, y'all really like down here in Miami.
I don't know why. Maybe because of the weather.
Yeah, maybe because of
nice.
the weather, man, and the vibe, and you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Well, welcome, brother.
Yeah,
so
explain.
Let's get into more detail about your event.
Okay. So tomorrow we doing an event. It's going to be from 11 to 3 p.m. This time we just hosted I tried to bring 20 kids down here, but with the real ID stuff, we couldn't do it.
Wow.
So I just basically still get them a business plan, and I'm bringing a lot of my friends, like Sarah. She's coming down here. She's going to be interviewing me. We're going to be going back and forth, showing you how to basically be successful right now. Nah. Because this climate of entrepreneurship is not the same right now as it was 2 years ago.
Say that.
So you got to constantly shift. You got to constantly know how to make money, and also you got to constantly chill and not want to be in the limelight so much. So that's what I'm kind of trying to give.
And I'm assuming this is for our black and browns, right?
For sure.
All right, that's what's up.
For sure.
Well, I appreciate you, and I commend you for doing that. Why does this mean so much to you?
So because I've been through a whole lot in my life.
Okay.
I've been through trials and tribulations. So I just want to give people, what I didn't have when I was growing up. I didn't have nobody teaching me nothing about entrepreneurship. I didn't know how to buy any houses. I didn't know anything. So we was left behind the 8 ball. But I feel like nowadays, the banks, they kind of caught on to what's going on right now. So now you just got to constantly evolve. So when you get in those rooms with other people, that's how you evolve and gain more knowledge and insight on other things.
Appreciate what you're doing. And is there a website that people could go to get some more information?
Yeah,
or how
you
they
can go to
connect?
my Instagram, workout_landlord, and you follow me on YouTube and stuff like that.
Oh, super dope. All right. Sarah.
What's up?
What's up, Queen? How are you?
I'm freaking phenomenal, blessed, happy to be here. Let me tell you.
Well, listen, I'm excited to hear about your podcast, girl.
Okay. What you want to know?
Tell me, what is your podcast about?
Well, this podcast goes out for those women that don't know how to take accountability. We call them out. This also goes out to the men that are unhappy in their bank account. We call them out. And so it's really just an awareness of masculinity, femininity, because there's a lot that goes into it, but it's just real, raw, dynamic conversations,
Wow, that's amazing.
We say the things that a lot of people think that they're afraid to say. We just say it out loud.
So please tell everybody where they can find this amazing podcast.
Oh, It's Giving podcast is on every platform. You can find us on YouTube, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio.
That part. So explain how you got to the point to do the podcast. Let's dial it back a little bit and let's get some history on you. Like, how did you get started?
Okay.
Yes.
So I moved, first of all, I'm Canadian, okay?
That's what's up.
And I moved from Canada to Los Angeles by myself when I was 20 years old.
T-Dot, Montreal?
No, Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. Wow,
yes,
okay, gotcha.
Yes, it's the Midwest for people like,
yeah.
North of North Dakota and Montana. That's where it's at on the map.
AKA cold as hell.
Period. Absolutely. There was just snow 2 weeks ago. I was talking, my parents still live there, and 3 of my brothers.
And what's your heritage?
Black and Native American.
That's what's up. Okay. There you go.
Little razzle and a dazzle.
Yes. It created something amazing.
I can't take credit. That's God right there. But what I will say is I moved away because I thought the only way to be successful was doctor, lawyer, engineer, or entertainment.
You sure your parents weren't Caribbean?
That's what I'm saying. Doctor or lawyer. doctor. Let me tell you, you would think. But I knew I couldn't be a doctor. Blood makes me queasy. I didn't want to be an engineer because my mom's actually an engineer. And I was like, that's out. And then I was like, yo, high key, I can debate really well. But I was like, I looked into what do you have to do in order to be a lawyer? And I'm not interested in learning things I'm not interested in.
Right.
So I was like, nah, don't want to do that. Acting, singing, dancing, I love entertainment. And so I ended up getting into a conservatory. Long story short, I did really well. Going from acting led me to network marketing. I built to the top 1% of the company.
Wow.
I started a mindset motivation t-shirt line. I got into speaking. I'm an international speaker. I've been translated in Greek, in Spanish. I've spoken in almost every state in America. I've been to Iceland, for God's sake. I didn't look on a map like, where is this, And then I got really comfortable. I started doing high-ticket coaching, all of these different things, and I got semi-retired in Los Angeles. My life was very much Pilates and facials and manicures and brunch,
The LA stuff.
Yeah, and then I came to Atlanta one time to speak on a podcast, and the guy was like, you should be a co-host. And I was like, don't say it unless you mean it. So I ended up visiting Atlanta a lot, 10 days out of every month to help build this podcast up. And we ended up having different visions and went in different directions. But I'm so grateful for that because it made me see like, I'm not hungry anymore. Like I'm so content in my life. And so I picked up and I moved to Atlanta where the energy was different. And now I've been in Atlanta for 2.5 years. And, I have my own podcast and people are always asking me, how do you do this? Why do you do that? Hey, can you tell me about my relationship? Because I honestly think there's so many people out here that are asking for things they're not qualified for. They just aren't. So many women are like, this man needs to make 6 figures, have a 6-pack, 6 inches, 6 feet tall. But baby, when's the last time you went to the gym? How much money is in your bank account? When was the last time you had a conversation with God? And so when you really get clear with what it is that you want, the question is, are you moving in alignment with that thing? And most people are not. Most people are entitled with no substance to really back that up.
What would you blame that on? Because I always used to say, man, Love and Hip Hop or Atlanta Housewives, you know what I mean? Just selling these dreams of everything comes so easy. But what would you kind of
Well, I think for us, especially the Black and brown community, I think we've all fallen victim to keeping up with the Joneses. You see social media and it's like you want to have that car, have that house, have that partner, have that dog even. Dogs and cats have Instagram pages that have more followers than a lot of people. And so when you start looking at this thing, most people are looking to be comparative instead of inspired by. So what I mean by that is if I see the person that drives the Rolls Royce and has the Rolex and has the big house and all of those things, you don't know what their real life is like. Because speaking candidly, I've been engaged 2 times, okay? My second engagement, we were every hashtag. We were Black love, Black excellence, relationship goals. But in reality, it was really toxic. But now I put myself in a prison and a cage on social media because now I have to show face.
Right.
Now that perception is more important.
Because you're already committed to that. Wow.
And it took me a long time to even step away from that relationship because I didn't want to let people down.
Right.
You're looking at me thinking I have this perfect relationship. Well, let me show up as perfect. But now I'm in a state where I don't even like my own life. This is stupid. So I just feel like we're in a space where we have to stop comparing ourselves on social media. And we just got to get clear on what is it and who is it that you want to be? Because that's another thing. We're all duped from our childhood. We're all asked what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be? Well, that's great. But what is connected to achievement? Whereas who is connected to fulfillment? So when you get into that fulfillment bag, you start filtering things, people, places, experiences, and opportunities out.
I want to end this interview to watch your podcast right now. I'm
well, no, it's a little different.
Obviously,
it's a little
I'm
different
kidding,
on
but
a podcast. It's relationship based on a podcast.
Let me tell you something. I've done tons of interviews, thousands. I've been doing this for a long time, and and my show producer Super Kai. He Gen X, Gen Z, or whatever you want to call it. So we're too opposite sometimes in terms of how we'll look at one thing. And both of us are sitting here nodding our heads looking at it. And it has never happened since he's been my show producer. So I'm like, this is really good. Can you attempt to unpack the Diddy
Oh, Lord.
man.
Oh, fix it, Jesus. First of all, I'm winded. Okay, I'm winded. We are we ain't even 2 weeks in, and I am exhausted. Okay, we know Kid Cudi had his. You want to go first? You got any thoughts on it? Because I got a lot.
Well, my thoughts on it is, I don't know. I think like what he's charged for is. I think he's just getting humiliated.
Right,
Like, I think he's just getting humiliated. I understand he definitely did some bad things and stuff like that, but I believe like the sex trafficking, he's not being charged for that. He just is a smear campaign.
Yeah. So it's like it's almost like they're treating it like a domestic violence.
Yeah, domestic. That's what it is.
Case, but it's not.
But it's not.
You know, I got to say, one of the things that frustrates me about this case, and I'm probably going to get crucified. I don't know who else has said this, but I'm just going to speak my truth if that's okay.
Please.
I feel like the things that happened to and with Cassie were terrible. Okay, they were treacherous. They were gruesome. There's no doubt about it. However, I moved to America by myself at 20 years old to pursue acting. So I was in the entertainment industry. And please believe a lot of these people that we see today tried to win over my affinities, my love, and ultimately my body. And I said no. And I feel like there's no accountability on her part. Yes,
Sure.
Was she a victim? Yes,
Yes, she definitely
absolutely.
was.
I'm not saying, and I'm also not saying Diddy was not a predator, because he for sure is. However, it doesn't start there. And she knew what she was walking into. And I feel like once she got to a space where she was doing so much that she woke up, she crossed her own boundaries. She threw her own standards out the door. And then one day was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And now you expect everybody, now you want to be like, oh, we have to stop. I got questions.
Well, hear this, right? Hear this now. I blame Young Miami.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
So here's why I blame Young Miami.
Yeah.
Imagine you as Cassie,
Yeah.
right? You with this dude 13 years, he sticking this and that and have you doing all that stuff, right? And then all of a sudden that man decides you done. He went off with the trainer, he got you.
Yep.
And then now you watching this man with a woman who ain't go through not even a quarter, not even none of that, get everything you should have gotten or thought you should have gotten. Make the game, the
Yep.
TV show,
Yep.
music,
Yep.
Loaded her up
Yep.
in a small amount of time after you looked at. Because if you think about it, that's how this all got started. Is when she was like, "Yeah, I need this money,"
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He changed though. I feel like Diddy changed in that time.
Well, I don't know.
I believe, I
100%.
don't know.
No. He
Yeah.
did change, but I don't know if he changed because he knew what was gonna come.
Yeah.
Or if it was a natural change. I'll give the benefit of that either way. But what I'm trying to say is that with the change, yes, Mr. Love and giving everybody publishing back and all that kind of stuff, even still, she wasn't a part of that. She didn't get to experience that side of him
At all.
and had to go through that. And then when she came for that bag, that's kind of like what blew everything up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you know what, though? I do also feel like he probably did that for her because he's rubbing it in Cassie's face like this could have been you. Do you know what I mean?
You think he still wanted her? I don't think he
I
wanted
think
her no
to
more.
this day, I think they both still want each other in a really weird, toxic way. I think it is real life Stockholm syndrome happening.
I feel like she want him for sure.
And he wants her. Did you see the clip? He clipped up when he spoke on the podcast, and he's like, that last relationship, like I really loved that girl.
But
he really never wanted to let her go.
But to your point, even the Kid Cudi situation, like he wasn't with her then.
He don't want
but he
nobody
didn't want
else to have
nobody
her.
else.
Yeah.
He would allow other men.
It's like that
as
was
long
his
as he
trophy.
controlled.
Like he wanted to
Yep.
control
Right.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Sure.
when you are really that much of a, I'm not going to call him a narcissist because I'm not his therapist. I'm not a therapist. However, when you are the type of person that is
You have to be somebody's therapist to call him a narcissist?
I mean,
because I call Trump a narcissist all the time, and I ain't his therapist.
well, I mean, he got some traits for sure, for sure. But you know, I'm just saying,
I'm messing
like,
with you.
I feel like he has he has a lot of noticeable narcissistic traits, and he wants that control so bad. And I think it kills him that he still can't have it. I don't actually think it's about Cassie. It's about the power he
It's
has
the
over
control.
her.
It's the control. It's all about. He want to control everything. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And now he lost the control. Like I don't know.
And literally, the stories that we're hearing of what were happening in the bedroom, it was from a control standpoint.
Yeah. I also feel like I don't want to hear anything else. I'm so tired of being bombarded by those things. I'm like, let's get to the real racketeering, okay?
It's not. Where's it at?
That's what Ant was saying.
It's not there.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah, it's not
I am
gonna be there.
winded.
The second day, I'm like, oh, this don't make no sense.
Right.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Man. So it's interesting, man. These were some great conversations, and that was just my way of saying y'all need to check out her podcast. If she can unpack this Diddy stuff for me, it's definitely gonna be something to watch. Please let everybody know where they can, again, the name of the podcast and where they can get your podcast.
Yeah, so my name is Ms. Sarah Fontenot on Instagram, really on every platform. It's MSSarahFontenot. And my podcast is It's Giving Podcast on all platforms. If y'all want the real, the raw, the ugly, not always the popular, but the truth, then come and see us.
That's what's up. Please do. And Ant, what's good, man?
Hey, what's going on? I'm just taking it easy. You can follow me at workout_landlord. Follow me for all real estate tips, the real tips.
You got it, man. Thank you both for your time. I hope you enjoy your Memorial Weekend. I hope you have fun with the kids that you were able to bring in town, and I think that's a big deal, and I commend you for that.
Thank you, man.
And Queen, continue to shine, man.
Thank
You have such an amazing personality.
Thank you.
You're so intelligent, and you have so much to offer us all. So I know that podcast is going to continue to grow and be, the best podcast.
Amen. I received that.
Yes,
Thank you for
indeed.
having us. It's been an honor.
For sure.